Hello everyone, I'm Aburva, a legal intern in Lexley Company. For today, I'm going to be talking about sports law in India. So, the history of sports in India dates back to the Vedic era. Chess, wrestling, polo, archery, and hockey are some of the games believed to have originated in India. But somewhere between the historical lineage of sports and sports in the modern era, there is a gap of enthusiasm and encouragement. So, little importance is left for sports at a grassroots level in India, with every school concentrating only on academics. So there are various federations in India that provides sports such as Olympics. One of the main reasons for it is the lack of uniform legislation in India for sports. So there is a need for a legislation that governs sports and brings the various authorities into one roof. So the sports law has an unusually well developed pattern of globalized regulation and overlaps substantially with labor law, contract law, criminal law, public law, administrative law, antitrust law, competition law, intellectual property law, tort law, media law, company law, human rights laws, etc. So these laws have been applied to sporting context involving public, other drugs, safety, disciplinary measures, conduct, and wider issues relating to restraint of trade and anti-competitive behavior, match fixing, and other commercial exploitation of sports. Issues like defamation and privacy rights are also an integral aspect of sports law. In India, sports figures in the state list in the seventh schedule of the Indian Constitution. So let me talk about the organization for sports in India. So in the field of sports, the club is the basic unit at the grassroots level. So at the top of the hierarchy are the international sports bodies for each sports made up of national bodies of different countries. The national sports bodies again consist of provincial or state bodies of different countries. So the provincial state bodies comprise the different districts or clubs. In India, national sports bodies build a national team representing the country for participation in international competitions where good performance is a matter of pride for entire nation. They consider the players for participation and selection. These bodies also award telecasting and broadcasting rights to the successful bidder for hefty sums, and also earn revenues from advertising in sports events. They also take disciplinary action against the erring players, including debarring them from the game. So, accordingly, in the most countries, including India, for enforcement of their public duties and obligations, prerogative constitutional writs of high courts lie against these private bodies, like any public or government authority. So, now what are the legislations in India for sports? There is no national or state legislation for regulation of sports in India. The Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports was set by the government of India to create the infrastructure and promote the capacity of building for broadcasting sports, as well as for achieving excellence in various competitive events at the national and international levels. So sports promotion is a primarily the responsibility of the various national sports federations, which are autonomous in nature. So the Ministry of Sports and Youth Affairs issues notifications and guidelines from time to time for the purpose of regulations of NSFs. So the sports law in India is governed and regulated by National Sports Law Policy, Sports Law and Welfare Association in India, Sport Authority in India, the Sport Broadcasting Law in India. So the Indian sport industry has progressed by leaps and bounds. Sports have assumed a corporate form with a number of commercial interests involved. With increasing market maturity and the need for clear and comprehensive legal documentation, sport issues are slowly becoming a major focus, as contracts must be able to clarify parties, expectations, and commitments, must protect the athletes and the brand's big picture interest, and must um, factor in regulatory, legal, and other risks inherent in the country. The country has reached a stage where India needs a legislation that deals with the sports law. India's failure in all the international sports events is an indication of poor infrastructure and corruption which exists within the federations. So, in order to meet the increasing demands of the changing scenario, the national as well as international, it is important that a uniform code of for sports be promoted. That's it for today. Thank you.